Hi, Rob Green here from 5 and 5. Those of you who are regular listeners know that our 5 and 5 series aims to interview a senior powerhouse of a lawyer from every single one of the 54 countries across Africa, and then continually interview and bring you insights from other people within the law and within business in those countries. So we can look at what the economy is doing, we can look at what the opportunities are, and locally for locals as well as for internationals looking to move in. This time we're back in Ghana and we're delighted that Juliet has joined us. Juliet is a powerhouse of a lawyer, general counsel of Asante Gold and director of Chirano Gold Mines Limited. She is 100% the right person to be giving us an insight into Ghana's growing markets, whether it's industrial growth and diversification across those different lines, or whether it's the strong performance in extractives and mining. She is right at the coalface, as we sometimes say, and we're delighted that she's joined us and she's giving us her insight into what's happening in the country and the surrounding markets as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. The economy of Ghana is currently a good mix of challenges and opportunities. The IMF has predicted that there will be a decline in our economic growth at 4% this year compared to 5.7 last year due to increasing inflation and debt pressures, among others. However, in the 2025 budget, government seeks to reset the economy by several interventions, one of them being a more disciplined government expenditure, a bid to reduce public debt to sustainable levels, and prudent debt management practices, and then overall to restore confidence in the economy. If these interventions are well executed, then we expect with our current strengthening currency, there should be many opportunities, including infrastructure development, inflow of foreign direct investment, and improved international trade within Africa under the African Continental Free Trade Area framework. And also, that should be able to mitigate against current increasing tariffs around the world. Thank you. The legal market in Ghana is evolving and expanding, both in house and in practice for external counsel. This is because there's increased demand for specialized services. So, for example, we see more specialized practice groups than before in the legal practice. We have some boutique law firms, for example, focusing basically on legal technology and innovation, and some focusing only on fintech practice. This didn't used to be the case in the past. We also are seeing bigger sized law firms with a few merging with bigger African legal brands, and also some law firms in Ghana opening other offices in parts of Africa. In relation to the in house legal teams, there's also a lot of growth as companies prioritize compliance with emerging regulations such as data protection, cybersecurity laws, and anti modern slavery, and ESG requirements, to name a few. So there is definitely significant growth in the legal market in Ghana. I see a lot of growth in infrastructure development. Under the 2025 budget, government set aside about $1 billion for infrastructure development. This should see some growth in the PPP, that's the public private partnership space. Government is seeking to close the infrastructure gap and also improve service delivery. So I see a lot happening in the PPP space. And then also, as I said earlier, with the increasing requirements for data policy, data privacy, and cybersecurity, I see some opportunities in that space as well. Yes, there are many job opportunities for legal professionals across many industries, both as in-house counsel and also for external counsel, especially in the light of increased regulatory reforms, ensuring compliance. And as I said earlier, these requirements often require companies to rely on third parties to give opinions or to conduct an audit and to also issue independent reports. And there are many, many, many opportunities for lawyers in those fields. And we increasingly seeing more opportunities and more job vacancies in those areas, both in in-house and external practice. The extractive industry bias, because that's where I am. There's an increased call for participation of the state in its natural resources, especially in the light of high gold prices. So we have seen and will continue to see more laws and regulations and directives in relation to local participation. Recently, we've had such requirements as mining, surface mining should be conducted by only wholly owned Ghanaian companies, and then underground mining is to be conducted by a JV between a foreign owned company and a minimum 50% owned Ghanaian company. Previously, the requirement was 30%, and it's just been increased at the end of last year, beginning of this year, to 50%, and then also increase levies in those sectors as well. We also foresee that there'll be improved trade within Africa to mitigate against the tariff wars that are going on, especially taking advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area, that's the AFTA framework, to improve trade within Africa. So these are the areas to look out for.